I guess you can't take it. Alright guys, welcome back. This is the last match of LoL Tourneys that we will be streaming this weekend. Next weekend, this will be the final four of today's teams, along with the championship match to determine who wins that Triumphant Rise skin. So that'll be next weekend. Right now we've got Father's Day in Harlem versus MacManNation. And we're getting to champ select right now. So we got first ban coming out from Father's Day. Looks like he's going to be running it to the timer. And that we do see that Jarvan the fourth banned out against MacManNation. I believe the last match. I believe the last match we shoutcasted. I think MacManNation got Jarvan banned out against them as well. So I think there's something that the teams know that we don't.
Yeah, they tend to kind of snoop around, look at your LoL King report, and just, see what you're good at, your rank stats, etc. And they will do everything they can to make sure you don't get those champions.
We do see Karthus banned out for Father's Day, and MacManNation bans out Rise and Ribbon. Those are 100% targeted, I think.
Yeah.
And Amumu is the final ban for Father's Day. And we're waiting on the final ban from MacManNation.
Indeed.
And that final ban is Thresh.
Yeah, really the only conventional ones here I see are Jarvan, Amumu, and Thresh.
Even after Jarvan got a little nerfed, he's not even banned that much anymore, so I'm gonna say that was targeted. And we do see his Lee Sin picked up for Father's Day. It was a pretty decisive first pick. They kind of just locked that in almost instantly. Oh, there's a Hecarim. I'm so excited.
Oh my god, we have a Hecarim this game.
So we have Hecarim getting covered over. I'm pretty sure he's just trying to crush my hopes and dreams. And we see that Janna locked in. I believe Janna was on that last match as well. So Janna's a pretty strong support for MacManNation and the way they play.
She's got the highest win rate of any champion right now, so assume they know what they're doing with her.
And they do lock in the Hecarim, so I'm super excited. We do have Taric picked up. Taric's actually a pretty good pick for Janna. You can't really stop Taric stun with any of Janna's abilities. You can delay the Graves from following up, but you can't stop Taric stun. We do see Elise locked in by Gucci Banana, as well as Ezreal's picked up. This is a pretty common team comp from MacManNation. They picked up Ezreal and Janna in the last match that we watched of them, so Janna and Ezreal are pretty popular with them.
Yeah, they did get what looks like their best support and AD combo, but they also picked up Thresh. They also picked up Hecarim and Elise. That's pretty devastating. A lot of power on MacManNation right now.
We see Lux and Renekton being hovered for Father's Day in Harlem. Zozog, I'm sorry, but I can't say Father's Day in Harlem every time. That's just, it won't be happening. I apologize.
I'll just say Father's Day.
Diana and Lux, we just see Cassiopeia hover, so their mid player is not quite sure what he wants to play yet. Does have 2 seconds left, so it looks like Cassiopeia is that final pick, as well as Renekton. And the final pick for MacMen, they're hovering over TF again. So
yeah, they're fleshing their team out with just lots of power champions.
Right now, neither team really look to mesh well with each other. As far as team fighting goes, it's a couple of comps that we haven't seen a whole lot of.
Yeah, the way these teams have been put together, it's a lot of those individually strong champions. Not there's synergy at like a base degree, but you're not looking basically for just like the full team combo. It's all just, Graves really strong on his own, Renekton really strong, Cassiopeia, same thing. But they're not like, they don't have like a big team limit break sort of a thing going on. It's going to be Taric stuns someone, and then maybe Renekton runs in, and stuff like that. It's just pretty much going to fall down that way. The side of... One second, I'll be right back.
And from the looks of things, Father's Day in Harlem seems to be trying to get an early game lead. They do have Lee Sin to set him ahead. Very strong lanes for Father's Day. So it looks like they're going to try to get an early lead and kind of just keep that and snowball that way. Whereas you have Kassadin, who's a very, very strong duelist. He can fight Cassiopeia really well because he does have a passive that every time he takes magic damage, he gets increased attack speed and reduces damage by 15%. And Cassiopeia does do damage over most of her abilities. So the
Sorry,
damage
bit
of
of
the
an
time
emergency.
spells. Oh, you were all right. We were talking about how I think Lee Sin with the rest of Father's Day is going to try to get an early game lead.
Yeah.
With their lanes. We're talking about the Cassiopeia versus Kassadin match. How do you feel about that?
Oh man, that's going to be interesting. I think in the early game, I'd give the edge to Cassiopeia, but post level 6, Kassadin, I think, can just do so much more for the teams. Like,
and I was
he's just going to be... Sorry, go ahead.
I brought up Kassadin's passive against Cassiopeia. Kassadin's a pretty solid pick against magic damage dealers that have damage over time abilities. Every time that dot ticks on Kassadin, he does get increased attack speed at every single tick. So if he plays Kassadin well, he can get in Cassiopeia's face and get a lot of Netherblade onto her.
He's going to have to be careful, though, because Cassiopeia is one of the best kiting champions in the game, and Kassadin's not going to be able to do that without his ultimate.
This is true.
I think he'd be better served if he just did that, traditional scumbag Kassadin play, null sphere, teleport away, null sphere, teleport away, and just frustrate her to no end. Cassiopeia can push much better than Kassadin. Cass and Cass, it's going to be confusing. I don't know how we're going to alleviate that. I'm just going to say Snake and Mongoose. I don't know. But Kassadin's definitely going to get pushed on really hard. That's the bottom line.
And you said Snake, and however, you could do... I don't know. Cassiopeia doesn't have a skirt, but Kassadin does, and Kassadin's a guy. I'm really confused.
Kilt.
We'll go with Kilt.
Yeah.
Hecarim's got a really strong gank, whereas Cassiopeia, she can kite really well, but she doesn't have a big escape like Kassadin does. So Cassiopeia is going to have to be very, very careful in the laning phase.
Right.
Because Hecarim can come out of that bush and just ruin your day. Because you do have Kassadin slow along with a silence, so it's going to stop her from flashing too.
And now that you mention that, there's a lot of escape on MacManNation, between Elise, Ezreal, Kassadin. To a lesser extent, Hecarim can even use his ultimate to get away. You literally can't catch Hecarim. You cannot chase him. If he doesn't want to die, he will not.
I mean, and MacManNation's got a really strong team fight. I think what's going to happen is when they do a 2-team fight, they're going to try to bait Cassiopeia ult and use their escapes to back out and then re-engage with Hecarim ult. So Father's Day in Harlem's going to have to be very, very careful in this next matchup.
Yeah, they're definitely going to have to be on their toes. But I think all the fireworks are going to be during the laning phase. That's where we're going to see a lot of action. It's just these powerful champions are going to be going at it. How does I don't often see Renekton versus Elise because Elise is often banned, but I'm interested to see how that top lane matchup is going to pan out.
Generally, Renekton does get a heal buff from minions,
Hmm.
and Elise obviously has spiders. So when he goes in, Renekton versus Elise is actually pretty. If the Renekton player is good and he times that Q and he's smart about it, um, he can actually fight Elise very, very well. So, and on the opposite side, Elise does have a skill shot stun. So if she lands the stun on Renekton, Renekton won't be able to get into her to do anything. If she misses, Renekton has free reign to do whatever he wants. So
Right.
it depends on the skill level of both players. Elise is a bit higher skill cap than Renekton, but overall,
Oh yes, definitely.
it kind of just depends on how good Gucci Banana plays Elise. We see some basic item starts here, and the red team is off to the races. They're trying to get down there, and it looks like they're trying to protect against the invade here.
Yeah, I see. MacManNation, he's gotten boots pots this game. He also did that in that previous game on Karthus. I think that's a little risky because boots pots just does not give a good. It's not a very safe start, I don't think. But hey, he made it work last time. He might make it work again.
I mean, I can see where he would do it against Cassiopeia. If you can dodge her Qs and her Ws, I think you should be okay. Because you won't be able to stack Twin Fang as frequently. Against Twisted Fate, if you get stun carded, boots don't help you.
That's true.
Like you said, he did make it work. Just both teams are going up for a basic defense and trying to keep this game nice and. They're fighting for Final Fours right now, so
Yeah, be as cautious as possible. Looks like Tarek and Graves are going to be doing their golems, and it's not going to be stopped by, or it might be getting stopped.
would you see Janna and Ezreal coming in to try to stop golems here?
Yeah.
A common thing that I've actually done, and I duo queue with a AD carry, and anytime I have to support him, I'll actually run over. I'll try to Scar Ward the Tribush, and if that lands, you run over, drop a bush over, or drop a ward into golems, and you just try to snipe their golem. And that seems to work really well, as opposed to just trying to stop them from doing it all together.
Yeah, you want to wait until they have some damage on them, and then you can, run in and fight them.
I mean, that's very risky to do, especially early game because you never know where the enemy jungler's at. If you start with red, that's a bad situation to be in.
Right.
But you see Hecarim rolling through the jungle a little faster than Lee Sin right now. Lee Sin has a lot of damage on him. He's down to 2 pots in his inventory.
Yeah. He didn't really get the safest. He didn't really get a good leash, I don't think.
Yeah, and you see Hecarim working that red. Didn't do wraiths. He's going right for red. And I think he's going to try to gank.
Well, he got that smiteless, so I guess he just wanted to use it on red so it'd be up later.
And it looks like he's going to try to have a gank here. Caston's taking a lot of damage from Cassiopeia. Those boots aren't helping him as much as he thought. He's getting poked down by those Qs.
Yeah, those Qs hit so hard.
And then Cass did
Just
Twin Fang,
with the-
so when she does land that poison, she's following it up with a couple of Twin Fangs here.
And we see the makings of it.
Both junglers in the mid lane here.
Yeah. It's a pretty solid gank and a pretty solid response here. I like that both junglers were right in the area and were able to respond. A flash from Kawaii Panda, and she's getting some poisons onto MacManNation, but Lee Sin goes in, flashes in, and MacManNation will miraculously escape. But here comes Rek Hughes, and he's going hard onto Kawaii Panda. She's burned her flash, he's seizing the opportunity, he takes first blood. This might be second blood here as he goes onto Frey. Maybe just a little bit red buff? Oh no, MacManNation comes in and takes it.
And Hecarim gets out with very, very little health. That was a very risky game they played, and it turned in favor for him. And MacManNation had a really great flash. He waited till Lee Sin queued to him and then flashed after it landed. So he could have, and they turned that team fight around really well. Cassiopeia had flashed earlier in that little engagement, and that goes to the last stream we talked about how a lot of players are burning flash for no reason. They just burn the flash, just try to secure a kill, and they can't secure it and then they find himself in a bad situation, and that's why that happened. Lee Sin and Cassiopeia had burned Flash early in that engagement. See where Renekton's having a problem against Elise here. Elise does take a tower shot, and the health bars even out. And both Elise and Renekton have around the same amount of sustain. Renekton's is just more burst sustain. And he does go in that low of health. And Elise picks up the kill on Renekton. Renekton didn't have Fury stacks up for his Q heal. And he dashed in anyway on top of minions and Elise and was able to get picked off there. We do see Zach getting MacManNation does pick off Taric there with a Hecarim gank. So we see Hecarim doing a lot more work than the Lee Sin this game, and Lee Sin kind of specializes in early game ganking and getting an early lead for his team. We see Graves getting brutally low here from Ezreal. Ezreal taking a tower shot to get that little extra damage on Graves and pushing him out of lane. That's going to be a lot of experience that Graves and Taric lose.
Oh, I'm sorry. I just realized I had my mic muted. Go on. I'm so sorry. Wow. Okay. I was just talking to myself. Excuse me. Anyway.
And Graves is deadly low down here in bot lane.
Yeah, he is extremely low. And as you said, Hecarim just doing so much work. Look at his items, though. He's got those boots of mobility. Not like generally the first items I'd pick on Hecarim, but still extremely good, especially if you're pressing an advantage at this early in the game.
And if you're out jungling the Lee Sin, have at it. Get them boots of mobility.
Yeah, ooh, and now Hecarim might be in trouble.
Now, he is level 6, does have his ult up. I don't think he's too worried about the level 4 Lee Sin and Taric. And we did see Renekton have a bit of a problem against Elise, and he's still going in, even after losing that little bit of lead that he had.
Yeah, I'm really surprised to see Renekton. He's just playing way too aggressively against this Elise, and he's gonna get forced out of lane even more than he already is right now. She does have that. She does have execute ability. She does have current health percentage damage. He needs to just start packing the magic resist fast. And that's
go in.
Oh my god, he has his ult. She might die to the ignite and the minions. Oh my god, no, she's gonna escape. Brazil Burner is just not gonna have the mobility to get that last bit of damage in. Where's the Karthus ult when you need it?
Yeah, and you saw Renekton baited that. He baited out with his ult, and that's a common thing you see from Renekton's, is that they bait.
And here in bottom, we have Irekius and MacMan Zach going in. Both ultimates are up. They are going to go in. It's just a question of when, and that is now. Here comes the Hecarim ultimate. Catches that CD music. He's silenced, and he will go down to Ezreal, maybe? Nope, to Caston. Caston will get the hell out of there, because...
And Caston burned Flash Ignite to pick up a Taric.
Yep.
I don't know how I feel about that. I mean, MacManNation is pushing a lead, so I see where they're going with that. But I don't know if I would have burned my Flash when I'm casting to pick up a kill on a support. I don't know how worth it that was.
I think it was an okay decision because he did give up that kill to Cassiopeia earlier, and he probably felt like he just needed something to equalize and get back into the game. Because he did lose his blue buff when Cassiopeia killed him.
Wow, this is true. And if we talk about Hecarim's ult real quick, there's a difference between fear and a terror. Hecarim's ult is a terror. Wherever you land, you'll be feared in the opposite direction as Hecarim. What do you see Ezreal trying to pick up?
Oh!
And John...
It's an interesting distinction, but Ezreal making kind of a... Well, he's making a stand here. He might kill Buello, but I don't think he's going to be able to. But here comes MacMan Zach ready to clean up. Now he's in trouble as he gets stunned and frays on him.
And Cassidy misses the pulse pulse wave there, and they're forced to back out. I see what they're trying to do with both of those plays. Ezreal was out of mana, and Ezreal's flash is down, and he's in a bad
But here's
spot.
Cassiopeia on the scene. She will land her her stun, but it won't stun. It'll just slow, and Darkspawn will just eat some poison, but they will not die. Meanwhile, at Hecarim, he's positioning himself to come bottom. He's got his Boots 3 already, that home guard. He thinks he's Rammus or something. This could be cool. He goes in on the Quiet Panda. He does have his ultimate up. Will he use it? Oh, it's not quite up yet. He will pop his ghost, maybe? No? No. There it is. There's the ghost. And they're going balls deep. There it is. There's the kill onto Kawaii Panda.
I mean, both teams seem a little flustered at this point.
I think that blue team here is having just trouble responding to the aggression of MacManNation.
And MacManNation is making, like, the devastating charges up on Hecarim, and he had missed the jump onto Cassiopeia. I think that frustrated him into burning Ghost to get that kill, instead of just backing off.
Yeah,
We see Hecarim running bot lane here.
If it was me, I would have blown it earlier, but here it is. The ultimate is up. He's going to knock back Borello a little bit with the devastating charge. There's the terror, and Borello is in bad shape because Hecarim's on him. He gets blown back by Janna's Monsoon. Darkspawn will finish off Taric, and Recuse will clean up.
And that was well executed by MacManNation. Hecarim just feared or terrored Taric. I mean, you see...
Ooh! Excellent escape there from Gucci Banana Man. I thought he was going to go in and try to fight the 2v1 and try to kill that Renekton, but instead he just saw, oh, Lee's camping there, I'm just going to leave.
Yeah, I mean, Repel does show every enemy to activate the ability. So he saw Lee Sin coming in and just hopped over to Lee Sin and left. And I don't think Lee Sin is ready for that. And
no, I don't think
Elise is doing her job.
Ooh! Cassiopeia gets stunned, but she's silenced, can't take advantage of the stun. The Twin Fangs will go down as MacManZac escapes. Irecu's ult is down, but he just shows himself just to give his teammates some support and scare away Kawaii Panda.
I mean, Elise is doing her job. She's forcing the enemy jungler to come top. And when you play top lane, that's what you want. You want your enemy jungler to camp. That way, your jungler has free reign over the rest of the team. What do you see happening in mid lane here?
And now Kawaii Panda's on the back foot. He's very close to death. Frey comes in to save him. Recuse will go down to Lee Sin. Combination of that poison, the slow, and the resonating strike just taking him down. Frey will reclaim the blue buff. Now, I like what I'm seeing here with the ward coverage going down to bot lane. 3 vision wards just giving complete vision of the river.
They actually have 4 vision wards in a line. In a line, they have it sitting in the bush there. I think they're terrified of him. That Lee Sin play down there in the mid lane, the counter gank, was just phenomenal. He had kicked Hecarim away just in time to stop from the rampage, and landed. That was probably the best Lee Sin play I've seen all day.
Yeah, that was really good. I like how Cassiopeia, she's just kind of holding her own here against MacManZac. Despite him being kind of a part of more overall kills, she's still going toe-to-toe with him.
I mean, she's farming relatively better than Kassadin. Put in a couple of bad situations. Lee Sin was able to help turn the tides on that. I just see Kassadin picking up blue buff and running straight bot lane. Of course, Father's Day in Harlem do have 4 pink wards. One of them getting taken out by Kassadin. Kassadin had actually picked up a pink ward.
Yeah.
So they're trying to get some of that vision got from Father's Day in Harlem.
They do have certainly a lot of vision. They're going to need it just to stop that Kassadin from roaming. I think that's what they're afraid of. But more scary is this Hecarim, who is just having his way with everyone. Lee Sin will dragon kick him just to try to keep him away, but he might ult in, go just straight for the dive. Janna's on the rise and hits up everybody with a Howling Gale. Kassadin is waiting in the wings here. Goes in on a fray with another pulse thing.
He goes over the null sphere and
Null sphere.
another force pulse.
Yeah, that's the one. And then CD Music will go down to Ezreal. And now Borello's in trouble. He will pop the cleanse, but it's not going to be enough because Reku and MacManNation are right on him. Frey will escape across the border, but Ezreal knows that trick too, and so does Gaston, and he'll pick him up. No issues.
We talked about, I don't mean to interrupt, we talked about MacNation having escapes for days. I'm going to go ahead and take that back. I have Chase for days.
They do have Chase for days.
They just, if you mess up once, they're just going to chase you down and kill you. And they can afford to do that. They are ahead by about, right around 6,000 gold, a little less, and no towers down yet. That's the terrifying thing, is there's no towers down in this game.
Like I said, like the laning phase was going to be explosive, and it certainly is. That gold advantage at the 1530 mark is staggering. I've never seen kind of a game this lopsided, I want to say, but anything can happen. It's still early.
I mean, we shoutcasted MacManNation earlier, and wasn't it the team that was right around 6k, 5,000 gold, 6,000 gold ahead at the 50?
I think so. They're definitely solid players, and they know how to capitalize on opportunities. I think that just take a look at the lanes, the CS. That'll give you an indication of like how everybody's doing. It's more the scores actually, the kill scores. They're not farming creeps. They're farming champs.
This point, and Cassiopeia does engage on Kassadin.
Yeah, but
Hecarim there.
Hecarim, I think, is going to clean this up. That red buff and the true damage from his Spear of the Elder Lizard clean her up, even though she manages to flash over the wall.
Yeah, so burn flash from Cassiopeia. In that situation, I mean, it's hard to, when you're in the game, it's a lot different than casting it or watching it. You could pick off mistakes very, very easily when you're watching a game, but being in the game and watching it, it's hard to be able to say, hey, I just messed up. We do see Ezreal burn barrier for no reason, speaking of mistakes.
Right. Oh, and Borello is in trouble here, but no, it's Darkspawn in trouble. The Mon goes down. Borello is very low. Janna will pick up the... Oh no, it's Ezreal will pick up the kill. He does have that Spirit of the Elder Lizard, and the dot will tick and deal true damage to him.
That's so actually really funny, because Graves died to red buff. Well, I think it's red buff and...
Oh, Wolfstriker gets hit just tip of a Q from Lee Sin, and Lee Sin will pick him up right after that. But here's Reku's on the scene going 1v3 against Brazilberter, but he is not looking good here. It's very dangerous for him. He might die, or he could be the king of baits. Oh my god! And makes it up with a double kill.
We talked about terror and how it's different from fear. Hecarim's terror right there split all three members of the team in opposite directions, and the rest of MacManNation was able to respond and keep him alive. And Elise, being a phenomenal tower pusher, she gets bonus attack speed from her W in spider form, and so does her spiderlings. So she's able to push towers very, very fast. And her spiders also tank towers. The way that her spiderlings tank towers in the order is it's cannon minion, melee minion, spiderlings, caster minions is the order in which tower will target.
See.
So Elise has pushed down 2 out of the 3 towers in this game.
Do they have the same priority as like Malzahar Voidlings? Or Yorick minions?
As far as that goes, I think Yorick's minions are always targeted first, aside from cannon minions. Or do you have a team fight going on here?
Ultimate is landed onto 3 people, but it's all going to be in vain because Gucci Banamang is going crazy on their entire team. Brazilburner will go down. It's a double kill for Gucci, and they will stop right now because they don't want to dive 2 turrets deep. Meanwhile, at top, Borello is pushing down this top tower, trying to get an advantage any way they can, while MacManNation tries to take down this bottom tier 2 inhibitor, tier 2 tower.
Tier 2 inhibitor.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean they're pushing waves. They're definitely starting to take advantage of the kill lead that they're getting. And the gold lead is now 10,000 under the 20-minute mark. It's very rare that you see teams come back from that. And Hecarim is soloing Graves at this point. He does have a Warmogs and a Spirit of the Elder Lizard, so he can tank damage for days, and he's constantly putting it out with Rampage.
That's
on
right.
top of Spirit of the Elder Lizard.
He deals tons of damage right now. He's 8-1 in the 7, super fed, super fast. And he's just at that point where, he doesn't care about anyone. He's the strongest map.
I mean, we did talk about how Hecarim did rush the mobility boots with Home Guard, and he was able to be everywhere. What do you see Cassiopeia get by a
blown up
silence combination from Elise?
That's right.
MacManNation is just picking people off left and right.
That they are.
And it's just they're not really. I think Father's Day in Harlem is having a hard time getting ready for this. I mean, Hecarim's top lane, but he can easily just devastating charge to the team fight. And they're so far behind that they're having a hard time picking off anybody, even though Elise and Cassin are half-life or under. When do you see the Rampage coming off from Hecarim, followed up by an ult? When do you see Graves with a double kill? But at what cost? Elise is just... Elise dodges the Cassiopeia ult. Elise dodges the Cassiopeia ult with Repeller.
Oh my god.
And gets out safely.
Yeah, we were Gucci Banana Man had the chops earlier, but he's showing us that he's certain.
And Hecarim just being that terror. Their inhib tower is still up, and you see Hecarim trying to recall right there. This might be the death of him, actually.
It could be. His ultimate is down. He's gonna get stunned, and nope, he's just gonna devastating charge out of there. I think he popped Ghost. Yeah,
he popped Ghost.
He's a really fast pony.
Yeah, there's no catching Hecarim right now. We do see
Ezreal there may be catching Ezreal.
No, Ezreal did pick up red buff, and he's going to try to kite Renekton. Renekton's trying. He's trying
definitely
really
dangerous.
Hard to get to Ezreal.
Oh my god, Recuse will still manage to get out of there. It's now MacManZach, and now it's Father's Day that has to get out of there, because now they're on the back foot. Graves will pick up Elise, but Cassin will also pick up Tarek. And big damage now going on to Frey as a Mystic Shot finishes Frey off.
And
Brazil Burner.
Ezreal landed just the tip of his Q onto that Lee Sin, so kills going out to both teams here. Ezreal tossing out the WoW at all chat. Cassiopeia finds herself in a bad position here.
Yeah,
Hecarim's just going to run her down.
She was kiting really well for a second. They're just using those the speed buff from her Q to kite around, but it's just not going to be enough. Recuse is just too big right now. Brazil Burner double slice and dicing out of there, but there's the ultimate, catching him out, and he's going to go down to Recuse.
Recuse is...
This is why Hecarim is banned, folks.
I'm going to have to give Hecarim the MVP, even though the game's not over. Whichever way this goes, Hecarim has been a terror the entire game.
He really has.
And Graves is picking up. It does pick up or Lee Sin picks up Cassidon, excuse me.
Yeah, and
but
even
caught
despite
out by Hecarim.
being dragon kicked away, he's just sticking to Borello like glue.
And Frey getting away with right around 40 health.
Yeah. Forces glue. Get it? Anyway, he gets stunned under tower, but whatever. Quiet Panda's gonna die. And Brazil Burner might die too. I mean, it's Hecarim. You can't stop him.
Sunfire Cape.
Ooh, Gucci Banana is gonna die. Just eats a resonating strike, and Recuse is like, I'm going home later.
I mean, when he's low, running low on mana, he's like, I'm gonna call it a day. I'm gonna go home, go back, probably come back with something ridiculous. He's sitting on 1,700 gold right now, so let's see what he decides to pick up here.
Be great if he at least picked up Iceborne Gauntlets. And it looks like Hecarim might be going the same route.
Elise is actually building fairly tanky.
Yeah.
That's kind of what you see a lot of Elises avoid doing. I don't know why. Elise does have percent damage on her abilities, and 90% of the time in a matchup that's even, Elise cannot blow up the AD carry before he has a chance to auto-attack her and start stealing some of that life back. We see a pink ward fight over by the Wraith bushes, causing into the death of Tarek here.
Not worth it at all.
And Hecarim's going to chase down Graves. He's going to try to.
Yeah, he blew his ult right there, just on one target, but whatever, it doesn't matter.
No, he actually landed the terror onto Graves. And then let Graves blither Rune King and leave.
Oh, is that? Okay, yeah, because I saw he was slowed and I didn't see the smoke screen. But anyway, Darkspawn is going to pick up Borello once again. Frey will scoot away from Irekius, but that's not going to deter him. Gets Dragon kicked away, still doesn't deter him. He's just popping ghosts, devastating charge. He wants blood. The shield will...
Hecarim is... Let's just clarify real quick. Hecarim and Janna are sitting in the enemy base, and there are no inhibs down.
That's an amazing point.
And Lee Sin does try to get into the Janna. MacManNation is just so far ahead they can do whatever they want. The Cassiopeia ult of
that was
Destiny
an amazing ultimate.
Lands.
Excellent double kill there for Cassiopeia.
That was the Cassiopeia ult of Destiny.
Almost
right
a quadra
there.
kill for her. I hope we get a highlight of that because that was an amazing Cassiopeia ult.
And our cameraman made a joke that we missed 10 points to Slytherin there. Cassiopeia,
like
the ult, that's probably one of the best Cassiopeia ults I've seen in a long time.
Yeah.
The game could have easily ended right there, and Cassiopeia is keeping a minute. The gold lead is extraordinary right now.
Going on 14k in favor of MacManNation.
Yeah, I mean, 47,000 gold at the 26-minute mark is a lot of gold for any team.
Hecarim has been straight up carrying. He's just running away with the game right now.
I mean, the jungler difference in this game is, I think, the cause of it. Hecarim is 14-2 and 11. He's been involved in 70% of MacManNation's kills, whereas Lee Sin's 5-5 and 3. So
he has been
involved in
70%
half of the
of
game.
MacManNation's kills.
Yeah, this is true. I mean, Lee Sin's been involved in 50% of the kills, but
and he's just gonna go in again. I'd narrate it, but you know what's gonna happen.
Yeah, I mean, you see Hecarim going in. There's a 1v1 call going out. It looks like Tarek and John are trying to 1v1 here. And Baron being the main assister of that depth.
Interesting place to do it. Did Hecarim blow his ult yet? Nope. This would be a good time to, as they're all grouped. There it is. There's the shutdown onto Cassiopeia by fellow namesake Kassadin. And Irekius just continues to ignore turrets and acquire kills.
Yeah, I mean, he's got Glacier Shroud, he's got Sunfire Cape. I'd be willing to say that he's taking the tower dive mastery. Simply because he's been underneath towers probably about 50% of this game. He's been under towers. Just diving and having his way. There is just two Iceborne Gauntlets from MacManNation. And Tarek does get picked up here, and it looks like this is good game. They're going to try desperately to keep this game alive.
They're trying their best, but someone just needs to auto-attack that Nexus a little bit more, and it'll go down.
Elise and her Spiderlings are taking the Nexus as the rest of MacManNation tries to finish off Father's Day in Harlem.
That's right. Whoa, what just happened there?
That seemed to be that was a little bit of a glitch, and it looked really cool. So we're gonna keep that. I think we might save that film.
Yeah, I like that.
There was a double explosion as opposed to a double rainbow there. So MacManNation had Hecarim get him a lead, and then they just sat on that big horseback and rode to victory there. 16-2 and 15 for Hecarim. I'm actually pretty curious as to how much damage Hecarim did to champions. he is by far in the lead for damage dealt to champions. You generally don't see that out of the jungler.
Yeah, that's where carrying from the jungle comes from, and he certainly did. Just like that. There's nothing more to say about it than, like, that's why you ban Hecarim.
I mean, Hecarim had 34,000 damage dealt to enemy champions. In comparison, the 80 carry for MacManNation did 27,000.
Wow.
So Hecarim pretty much just took complete control of that game, reigns, if you will, and just carried the game completely. There was, after Hecarim started going, I think there was a point when he was like 8-1. There was no doubt in my mind that this Hecarim was going to be the terror, and Father's Day in Harlem just couldn't shut him down. I think there could have been a couple of different things that could have done differently. Lee Sin could have sat in his jungle and tried to, but there was really nothing that they could do at that point. Hecarim was 8-1 and had taken full charge of that game.
Yeah. Overall, a very well played game to Team MacManNation, and we look forward to seeing more of them in the finals.
We're going to cut to a little break here. I believe this is the last game of the day. Actually, I think we're just going to do the giveaway